Right. Then if we start with this one, the first question is just like this, but they mentioned the sequence. Yeah. The sequence of the numbers u1, u2, u3 satisfy this condition. But this is called the recurrence relationship, right? Then if you need to find u3, this is coming under the recurrence relationship starting with u1. You have to find out with u2, then with the relationship of u3, you have to work out. So it's straightforward, you cannot find u3. Then what you need to do is initially, you can find u2. If this n plus 1 is u2, you can say this is turn up into 2u1 minus 6 because we have the information of u1. This is called the recurrence relationship. 2 into u1. u1 value we know, 2. Because you know that if this is n plus 1 is 2, n is equals to 1. Therefore, 2u1 minus 6. We know that u1 is 2. Then it is turn up to how much? Minus 2. 2 to 2, 4, 4 minus 6 is minus 2. With the help of that, you can find u3. That is turn up to 2u2 minus 6. That is, you can say 2 into minus 2 minus 6. It's minus 4 minus 6 is minus 10. Right. Then you know that you value for u3. This is the answer for u3. Then part B. This is pretty simple. You need to find sum of I starting from 1 to 4 ui. That means they are referring to u. Sorry, I goes from 1 to 4. ui means I is varying from 1 to 4. That is u1, u2, u3, u4. You have to get the sum of them. Right. For this moment, you know what is u1. u1 is how much? 2. u2 value we know it's minus 2. u3 is minus 10. Now you need to find the value for u4. u4 is you can find from this relationship. So you can write u4 is equals to 2 times of u3 minus 6. That is 2 times of minus 10 minus 6. That is minus 26. It's turn up to minus 26. With this answer, you can get 2 minus 2 get cancels each other, minus 36 would be the final answer for this. That is the way of doing this kind of a question. Okay. When you start with this question, this is basically related with the surds. We know that if you get 49 over root 7, they mention it's equals to 7 to the power a. We know that 49 is 7 to the power 2. Divide by square root of 7 is 7 to the power half. This is, they have given 7 to the power a. Then this division you can write, it's a subtraction, 2 minus half is equals to 7 to the power 9. Therefore, sorry, 7 to the power a, not 9. 7 to the power 3.5, 1 and half. 1 and half is equals to 7 to the power a. Then we know that since the bases are similar, you can write a is equals to 1 and half. That's the answer where we need to get it right. Or if the bases are not similar, for such situation, we have to deal with logarithm. Later on, we will learn that kind of situations with it, right? Then for this question, this is pretty simple. Root 18 minus 4, we need to show this one today. Root 15, root 2, plus 20, we have to show this one today. That means what is the approach over here is that we know that here there is no third denominator. This is called the rationalizing the denominator. To get this answer this way, what you need to do is, we will just multiply what you call conjugate of this rationalized denominator, that is root 18 plus 4 divided by root 18 plus 4. So if you do this, you will understand that 10 root 18 plus 40, 10 into root 18 is 10 root 18, 10 into 4 is 40. Divided by over here, you can say root 18 to root 18 is 18. And minus 4 into 4 is minus 16. So no need of working out with all of this term because intermediate terms get cancelled when you do this rationalizing process. So I will just show you whether, like, you can see the intermediate terms get cancelled. Root 18 to root 18 is 18. Root 18 to 4 is 4 root 18. Then minus 4 into root 18 is minus 4 root 18. Minus 4 into plus 4 is minus 16. So over here, these two get cancelled. That is why no need of multiplying this one when you do this. What do you call that? What do you call when you do the process of rationalizing denominator? This is 10 Root 18, we know that put it, this is 18 is 2 into 9. That is 3 root 2. If you are not sure, just put it root 18 into the calculator and see whether. Plus 40 divided by 2 put it. Then what do you get? Put it. This is turn up to 5 into 3 root 2 plus 20. You divide 2 by, both of them you can divide by 2. So let's turn up to 15 root 2 plus 20. Let me see whether this is the answer what they want. Yeah, that's the answer. But you need to show that. Okay. That's a way of doing this kind of a question. I just make it a bit of small. Then you can see the full question at once. It's just a little bit further. It's like this. That's a way of doing this kind of a question. Right. Then, yeah. Then if you move up to this question, so you can say this is the part of integration function. We know how to integrate x to the power n only. The answer is x to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1. This is the formula we know about integration. Therefore, before you do this integration, this is coming under the finite integration, you have to keep this in x to the power n form. So you can say this is 6 x to the power 1 minus 3. You can write any constant in this format. X to the power 0, because you know the x to the power 0 is 1. With that 3 minus 3 into 1 is minus 3. Minus this one you can write x to the power. This is 2 over root x is 2 over x to the power half. No, you can bring it up and you can write x to the power minus half. The reason is that we know how to integrate x to the power n only, not 1 over x to the power n dx. Then you can do this integration. That is 6x to the power 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1 minus 3x to the power 0 plus 1 over 0 plus 1 minus 2x to the power minus half plus 1 over minus half plus 1. No need of writing plus c because it's finite integration. 1 to 4. After doing the integration only, you can put the boundaries. So you can see the simplification become 6x to the power 2 over 2 minus 3x to the power 1 over 1 is minus 3x minus 2x to the power 1 over 2 over 1 over 2 from 1 to 4. So no need of writing all of these steps if you're familiar with this, but till you just familiar with this, you can do get this. Then 2 divided by half is 4 x to the power half. Yeah, then 1 to 4. Then you can substitute the upper boundary. So you can write this is 3, 4 to the power 2 minus 3 times of 4 minus 4, 4 to the power half minus, then substitute 1 to the 3, 1 squared minus 3, 1 minus 4, 1 to the power half. Then you can get this answer. We will just after substitution, if you are pretty sure about your integration, nothing to worry about. Just don't do it manually. You can just put in the calculator and you can obtain this answer for this integration. So you can put integration from 4 to 1. You can put this, what do you call that question as an integration of that. You can say 6 alpha x minus 3 minus 2 over square root of x, square root of alpha x in your calculator. With this, you can get the answer. But yeah, so here you get the answer as 32. That's a way of doing this kind of a question, right? Right. Then if you move up to this question, right, then we can say the fourth term of arithmetic sequence. For arithmetic sequence, what are the formulas we should know today? We should know the nth term formula. A plus n minus 1 d. And Sn formula is n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 d. Or there's another formula for Sn, that is n over 2, this is a plus l. If you know the first term and the last term, we use this one. So if you don't know the last term, we used to use this. Right, let's go ahead with the question. Right. Then when you do this question, initially they mentioned the fourth term. Fourth term is u4 is equals to 3. That means from here, you know that if you put u4, that is a plus n minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3d is equals to 3. That is my first equation. The sum of first 6 term is 27. That is S6 is equals to 27. Then you can write S6. You can say 6 divided by 2, 2a plus n minus 1. 6 minus 1 d is equals to 27. Then you can say 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2a plus 5d is equals to 27. If you want, you can take this 3 to this side as a division. With that, you can say a plus 5d is equals to 9. This is my second equation, right? Let's go ahead with this. Then we have to simplify. They ask you to find the first term and the common difference. This is not that hard. So you get a plus 3d is equals to 3. 2a plus 5d is equals to 9. Then I'll just multiply the first equation by 2, it's turn up to 2a plus 6d is equals to 6. Sorry, 2. Sorry, it's just 6. 6 is equals to 3. Then what you can do here is you can say just say 3 minus 2. 2a 2a get cancelled. 6d minus d is d. 6 minus 9 is minus 3. Then you can get the value for a. So you can write from first equation, you can say a plus 3 times of minus 3 equals to 3. That is a is equals to 3 plus 9. A is equals to 12. So simply you can get this answer in this format. That's a way of doing this kind of a question. Okay, I'll just make it a little bit small. Then you can see the full question at once. Yes. Then if you go ahead with, sorry, this kind of a question. Sketch the graph of y equals to sine 2x for the range of 0 to 3 pi by 2. Show that the coordinates of the point where the graph passes the x-axis. So initially, if you start with this question, we should know what is the behavior of sine x graph. So I'll just sketch the sine x graph over here. Later on, we can do this transformation. We know that sine 0 is 0. The graph is just like this. Here the value is 90 or pi by 2. This is pi and this is 3 pi by 2 and this is 2 pi. Then what you can understand is and the maximum value and the minimum value is plus 1 and minus 1 itself. This is 1 and minus 1 itself. Right? Then what you can understand here is when you are working out with this, when it turns into 2x, x is transformed to 2x. These x transformations are opposite. They multiply by 2 means all these x coordinates turn up into half of the initial. So I will just a little bit of make it smaller. Then you can draw the graph like this. Over here, 0 does not make any impact. Then pi by 2 value turn up to pi by 4. So this is 1. And this pi value turn up to pi by 2. Then this 3 pi by 2 value turn up into, if you divide it by 2, 3 pi by 4. That is over here, minus 1. This 2 pi turn up into pi. It's here, pi. We need to work out for 3 pi by 2. Then again, the next value is turn up to 5 pi by 4. It's again 1. Again, the next one is 3 pi by 2. It's here. So if you draw the graph, it's just like this. Only thing is that all the x coordinates are divided by 2. That's the answer for part A, right? Okay, the table below gives the corresponding value for x and y for y equals to sine x. Okay, use the trapezium rule to find the all value of y and find the approximated value for this. Then put it the trapezium rule. In the trapezium rule, we know that this integration of 0 to pi by 4, whatever the integration, sine 2x dx is approximately equals to, the formula for trapezium rule is with the half of width into half width of the strip. Width of the strip you can get by the difference between x coordinates. Here Whatever the 2x coordinates you consider, you get the same width. Here you can see pi by 12 minus 0, also pi by 12, pi by 6 minutes. So here like that. So the gap is pi by 12 into first y coordinate here 0 plus last y coordinate, this one, plus 2 times of intermediate coordinate except these two. Then you can work out 2 times of 0 0.5 plus 0 0.866. That would be the final answer. If you just do this, you will understand that this value turn up into, yeah, that is pi by 12 into 2 is 24 into first y coordinate is 0 and plus 1 is 1 plus 2 times of, again you can say 0 0.5 plus 0 0.8666. So you get the answer 0.4885. Then you can check whether your answer is correct by just put this integration into your calculator and see whether you get an answer which is kind of similar to this. I'll just put this into calculator. You should remember that your calculator should be operating in radian mode, because here the pi by 4 it's in terms of radians. Integration from you can just work out pi by 4 from 0 sine 2 alpha x. So the approximated answer is for the 0 0.5. This is 0 0.5. So you can say literally this value is almost close to that. So we have kind of evidence to say that our integration answer is correct. So that's a way of getting this to there. So this is supportive graph is this. To understand the basic graph, with that you can get into this answer. Right. Then if you want to do this question, use a factor theorem to show that x plus t is a factor of fx. What the factor theorem says, if x plus t is a factor, if you substitute, over here, if you substitute x plus t equals to 0, that is x equals to minus 3, your answer should be, answer for this one, the substitution of minus 3 should be 0. So we'll just check with that. Minus 3, that is minus 3 cube plus minus 3 squared minus 12 times of minus 3 minus 18. So you just check with that, minus 27 plus 9 plus 36 minus 18. So if you just do this, you will understand that this is turned up to 0. So you can say therefore x plus 3 is a factor of fx. You can just write like this. Right. Part B, factorize fx. Then we know that here we cannot factorize a cubic expression straightforward. But for the moment, we know that x plus is a factor. Then from the first factor, I'll just divide it. 12x minus 18, I'll just divide it by x plus 3, because we know that x plus 3 is a one factor. Then see whether how many x terms are there for x cube. X cube divided by x, it's how much? X squared. Then write it x squared. Then multiply this whole expression by x squared and write it over here. X squared into x is x cube. X squared into 3 is 3x squared. Then subtract it. You get 0. X squared minus 3x squared is minus 2x squared. Then take the next term down. Minus 12x. Then see whether how many x terms are there for minus 2x squared. It is minus 2x. Then multiply this whole expression by minus 2x and write it here with it. Minus 2x into x is minus 2x squared. Minus 2x into 3 is minus 6x. You subtract it. 0. Minus 12x minus 6x is minus 6x. Minus 12 minus 6 is plus 6 is minus 6 with it. Then take the next term down. Minus 18. Then see whether how many x terms are there for minus 6. Minus 6x divided by x is minus 6. Then it's minus 6. Then you can write minus 6x minus 18. If you just multiply with that, answer is 0. Then you can write, this is a way of writing this answer. You can write fx. No need of writing this cubic expression again straightforward. You can write fx is equals to x plus 3 times of x squared minus 2x minus 6. Right. Then you can see this is the total factor. So now see whether whether this x squared minus 2x minus 6 is factorized further. So you can get help of your calculator and just put it in the quadratic format and see whether is this fact you get a complete answers for this. I just put 1 minus 2 and minus 6 in the quadratic format. Then you won't get a complete answer. You get a third answer. You can put into the calculator and you will understand that 1 plus 2. So that means this is not factorizing further. So the answer ended up from here. Then part C. Hence an exact value of solutions of this. So you can write x plus 3 into x squared minus 2. This is already factorized equals to 0. From here you can say x plus 3 is equals to 0 or x squared minus 2x minus 6 is equals to 0. How do you get this answer? You know that if there's a product is equals to 0, you can say either one of the brackets should be or both brackets should be equals to 0. With this, you can say x equals to minus 3. This one you can solve it by a, what do you call that, as a quadratic equation. Minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4, a is 1, c is minus 6 divided by 2a. 2 into 1. If you just work out, you will get the answers. X equals to 1 plus root 7 because they need the complete answer. 1 minus root 7 is the second answer. Therefore, you can write the answers would be x equals to minus 3. Other answer is 1 plus root 7. Other answer is 1 minus root 7. These are the solutions for this, the factorize, sorry, this function when fx is equals to 0. This is the complete answer for this question. It's a way of doing this. Right. Then if you come up with this question, find the first four terms of the ascending power of x. Ascending power of x means x power should be increased starting from 0. That's a fact I mentioned, but ascending power of x is binomial expansion of 1 plus k x to the power 8, where k is a non-zero constant, given that each term is the simplest form. Right, okay. So initially we just work out with this. So you can say 1 plus k x to the power 8. So it's turned up to 8z0. We need 4 terms. Then you can write 8z1, then 8z2, then 8c3. Then ascending power of x. So you have to increase the power of x. Kx to the power 0. Because starting the ascending power, the power of x term should be increased. Kx to the power 1, kx to the power 2, kx to the power 3. Then the other term should be descended, starting from the highest. And 1 to the power 5, right? Okay. From here, you know that 8c0 is 1, 1, 1. 8c1 is 8, kx into 1. Then 8c2, that is 8z2. 28 into k squared x squared into 1. Then 8c3, 56. 56 k cube x cube into 1. So with this you can the answer 1 plus 8 kx plus 28 k squared x squared plus 56 k cube x cube. This is the answer for that. Then they mention part B, given that coefficient of x cube. What is the coefficient of x cube? Here 56 k cube. What do you mean by coefficient of x cube? That is the number in front of x cube is 1512. Find the value for k. So you can say k cube equals to 1512 divided by 56. With this you can say k is the cubic root of that. Let me see what is that answer. So you can say it's a cubic root of 1512 divided by 56. Answer is 3. That's the way of getting this answer. Sorry, the answer is 3. That's the way of getting it. Right. Then if you come up with this question, when you're working out the trigonometry, we know two relationships. First one is tan x equals to sin x over cos x. Other one is sine squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. These are the two formulas where we have to see in our curriculum. Right. Okay, let's go ahead with this. Then if you come up with the first part of the question, you can say 7 sine x equals to 3 cos x. Then you can see if you divide, you have to make tan x, no? Then I'll divide both sides by cos x. Then you can say 7 tan x is equals to 3 cos x get cancelled. Then you can say tan x equals to 3 over 7. This is the first answer for that. Then part B, hence this answer, you have to find the solution for that answer. You can see the same question over here. It's repeated with 2 theta minus 30. Then the question is for the 7 sine 2 theta plus 30 is equals to 3 cos 2 theta plus 30. For the convenience of the calculation, we use some kind of a trick. We need to find the solution for theta for the range of 0 to 360. Then I'll just get this 2 theta plus 30 as x. Then what you can say? Then you can say 7 sine x equals to 3 cos x. Then here also we have to rearrange this range. Then for theta, the range is 0 to 360 means 2 theta range become multiply both sides by 2, 0 to 720. Then 2 theta plus 30 means you have to add 30 to both sides. This is 30 and this is 750. So that is a range for x. Okay, now let's see how to solve this. For this answer, you can say this is the same thing. Tan x equals to 3 over 7. Then x equals to tan inverse 3 over 7. Let me see the answer for that. Remember that your final answer should be in degree format. Therefore, make sure you operate your calculator in degree format. Always should be particular with that the format they are referring to. Tan inverse 3 over 7. That is 23.19. Sorry, 23.2. This is my first angle. Now you can see this is not in the range, but anyway, you just keep this answer. This is not in the range, but we need these answers to find the rest of the solutions. Right? Let's go ahead with this. Then the second solution for this, you can find it by, for tan, second solution you can get by 180 plus the first angle. Then the second angle is 203.2. Right? This is within the range, not a problem. Then the third angle, it's 360 into 1 plus the first angle, 23.2. So that is x3 is equals to 383.2. This one also within the range. Then the next part is just like this, x4 is equals to 360 into 1 plus the second angle. Second angle is 203.2. x4. So you can say 360 plus 203.2. That is 563.2 is the next angle. This one also within the range. Let's go ahead a little bit further. 360 into 2 plus the first angle. That is turned up to x4 would be 743. That's my first. That one also within the range. Therefore, we can obtain four solutions. Now we don't need to find the solution for x. We need the solution for theta. Therefore, from the first solution, you can say 2 theta plus 30 is equals to 203.2. With this, you can say theta equals to 203.2 minus 30 divided by 2. From here, you can get this answer. 203.2 minus 30 divided by 2. That is 86.6. Is my first angle. Then next angle. You can say the same relationship. 383.2 minus 30 divided by 2. 383.2 minus 30 divided by 2. That answer is 176.6. Then the next angle theta. This is 563.2 minus 30 divided by 2. 563.2 minus 30 divided by 2. That is 266.6. 266.6. Then next one is 743.2 minus 30 divided by 2. 743.2 minus 30 divided by 2. That is 356.6 would be the next answer. Now you can see all these answers are falling to the category of 0 to 360. There is no problem come across. So if you define the range according to the formation you will get it from the first one, definitely the final answers will fall into the given range. It don't make any problem over there. Right? Okay, then I just make it a little bit smaller. Then you can see the full question at once. Yeah, I just make it slide smaller. Yeah, this would be your final answer. Right. Then when you come up with this one, the residence population in city is 130,000 in year 1. This is A. Then you can say that A is equals to 130,000. Right. The model predicts that the residence population of city will increase by 2%. So this gives you some kind of a geometric relationship, increase by 2%. So we use this fact to identify the common ratio. This is the way to think. So you can say increase by 2% means if the initial population is 100, if it increases by 2%, then your final answer is how much? 102. With this, you can write the common ratio 102 divided by 100. This is the way of identifying the common ratio for geometric progression with the percentage increment of 2%. If it is decreased by 2%, how do you write it? 100, this is 2, decrease is 98. Therefore, 98 divided by 100, right? Show that the predicted population in the end of year 2 is this big. That means we are worrying about end of 2 years. That's a point to understand. End of first year is the first term, end of second is the second term. So you can work out, for the geometric progression, what are the terms we know? UN, nth term formula is A, r to the power n minus 1. Sn is A, r to the power n minus 1 over r minus 1. And sum of infinity, A over 1 minus r. These are the formulas. Therewith that you can write this one. You have to work out it U2, second term. End of first year is the first term, end of second year is the second term, right? So you can say A is 130,000, R is 1.02 to the power 2 minus 1. With this you can say 132,600. Show that around the common ratio. This is pretty simple. You can write this is 1.02. We already found over here. The model predict that the year end would be the first year which ends up with the population exceeding 260,000. That means UN is greater than 260,000. Then you can write UN A 100 and at the beginning it's 130,000. If you just work out here, R is 1.02 to the power n minus 1 is greater than 260,000. Then you can say 1.02 to the power n minus 1 is greater than 260,000 divided by 130,000. Then 1.02 to the power n minus 1 is greater than 2. Then you can use to solve this, you have to use a logarithm. Log 10, 1.02 to the power n minus 1 is greater than log 10, 2. Then you can take this power out. What happened here? N minus 1 times of log 10, 1.02 is greater than log 10, 2. Then you can say, right, n minus 1 is greater than log 10, 2 divided by log 10, 1.02. Then you can write n is greater than log 10 to the answer where they request log 10 1.02 plus 1. Next part of the question, they ask us find the value for n. Let's work out with this. This is the continuation of the same thing. See, n is greater than, you just put it in the calculator and see whether we'll just get this log 2 divided by log 1.02. That answer is 35.00 plus 1. It's turned up to 36 point. This is the point you have to understand that, Pute. 36.003. Then you can say this is an integer which is greater than 36.003 would be 37. That's a way of doing this question. That's a factor to be understand when you are doing this kind of a question. Right, I'll just a little bit of smaller, then you can see the full question at once. It's the way of doing it. Right. If you start with this kind of a question, right? Initially, for the dy by dx, we know how to differentiate x to the power n. Answer is this is n x to the power n minus 1. Anyway, you have to convert all of these forms into x to the power n. It's already there over here. Then we can say a is equals to dy by dx is equals to 12 times of n is 5 over 4 x to the power 5 over 4 minus 1 minus 5 over 18 into 2 x to the power 2 minus 1 minus 0. Why it's 0? Because just a constant. There is no x term over here. So it's turned up to 15 x to the power 1 over 4 minus 5. This is turn up to 5 over 9 x. That is the answer for that. I think it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, 5 to 18 into 2 is 5 over 9 x. Yeah, that's it. Then that is the answer for dy by dx. Then what they want is hence find the coordinate of the stationary point on C. If you're talking about stationary point, turning point, maximum, minimum, point of inflection, all of them, the basic condition is dy by dx is equals to 0. That is 15 x to the power 1 over 4 minus 5 over 9 x is equals to 0. Therefore, you can do it this way. 15 x to the power 1 over 4 is equals to 5 over 9 x. Then you can do it this way. 15 into 9 divided by 5 is equals to x divided by x to the power 1 over 4. Then what you can understand over here is if you simplify this, it's turned up to 15 divided by 5 is 327 is equals to x to the power 3 over 4. Since x is not equals to 0, here they mentioned the function is greater than 3. With this fact, you can cancel this. You can divide x by x. But other than that, you cannot divide it. You have to do some factorizing and get it. Then you can add x. If you bring a power to other side, turn up to its reciprocal power. 4 over 3. Therefore, x become 81. Now, I know the x answer. Then we need to find they want to find out, not they just on x coordinate, find the coordinate. In that case, you have to find the y answer as well. Then you can find the y value by substituting 81 into the main function. With this, you can write the answer this format. Then you can write this is 12 times of 81 to the power 5 over 4 minus 5 times of 81 to the power 2 divided by 18 minus 1000. That is 93.5. Therefore, the coordinate you can write x coordinate is 81 and y coordinate is 93.5. That's the coordinate for that. Then use second differentiation to determine the nature of the stationary point. So, to find the nature of the stationary point, you have to differentiate the second time. That means you have to differentiate this answer here, this first differentiation of it, that is turn up to 15 into 1 over 4 x to the power 1 over 4 minus 1 plus 5 over 9, differentiation of x is 1 to the. It's turn up to 15 over 4 x to the power 3 over 4 plus 5 over 9. Then we need to find the nature at x equals to 81 to the. Then if you put it 81, 15 over 4, 81 to the power 3 over 4 plus 5 over 9. The answer become 15 over 4 times of 81 to the power 3 over 4. So anyway, this is a positive answer because you know that both the facts are positive. So therefore, what you can say, Pute? Therefore, x equals to, at x equals to 81, the function has a minimum. Because you know that here the what do you call that answer for this one obviously is greater than 0. That's a way of doing this. Right. When you do this kind of a question, Pute, these are the facts to be known. If there's an arc sector of angle theta in radians with r with L, there's a relationship for the L would be L equals to r theta. And if you want to find the area over here, that is equals to half r squared theta. Apart from that, if you need to find the area of a triangle, where this length is A and B, where the intermediate angle is theta, you can find the area of this triangle as half AB sine theta. Apart from that, we are using trigonometric relationship, the sine rule and the cosine rule. So we might use some part of these ones to get the final answers in this question, right? Let's read the question. Sometimes within the diagram, all the information not may be represented, but sometimes it's there in the question, right? The figure 1 shows a triangle XYZ where XY is 10, it's given. YZ is 16, it's given. XZ is 12, that one also given. Find the size of the angle YXZ, give it the answer to the radian. So that means they are referring to this angle, YXZ, this one. Then you can see it's a triangle with 3 sides. We need to find the angle over here. Then we are using the cosine rule for this. So we can write cos A, the cosine rule. We'll refer the cosine rule is how much? There are two formats of cosine rule where we know. First one is A squared equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A, or you can write cos A is equals to B squared plus C squared minus A squared divided by 2BC. In this case, always you have to consider the side A as the side opposite to the angle. Therefore, you can write cos A, B squared. B and C can be the side, one of the side where beside the angle. Can I write this is 10 squared plus 12 squared minus A is this bit. Always the A is the opposite angle. Side opposite to the angle. 2 times of 10 into 12. With this, you can write cos A is equals to, if you operate this one, you'll be getting the answer 10 squared plus 12 squared minus 16 squared divided by 2 into 10 into 12. That is minus 1 over 20. Therewith that you can say A is equals to cos inverse of minus 1 over 20. Let's get this answer. So in this case, again, there's a small issue. We have to understand that calculator operates in radian mode. Therefore, make sure with that because they need the final answer in radian form. Yeah, and say, can write cos inverse minus 1 over 20. That is 1.62 radians, right? Okay, that's right. That's factor to understand for 3 significant figures. 1.6208, that's the answer to that. Then they mention point A lie on XY. Over here you can say it's lie on XY The point we lie on x is already mentioned in this much, where ax and bx are 5. This is 5, this is 5. With this information, you can write this is 5 and this is 7. Right. Same time, we can just make it with it. The shaded region S is shown in the diagram, bounded by these facts. Find the perimeter of the shaded region and the area of the shaded region. So how do you find the perimeter over here? Perimeter is this length plus this length plus this length. Then we know these facts. It's not a problem. This is there, and this length also there. So our problem is to find how to find this arc length. That part you can find it by this way. You can find the arc length. Initially, we have to find the arc length AB. That one you can find L equals to R theta. We know that in this arc segment, so just a little bit of smaller, the radius is 5. And we already found this angle theta. Theta is how much? 1.62. With this, you can find the length. 5 into 1.62. That is turn up to 8.1. Then we can find the perimeter P is 5 plus 16 plus 7 plus 81. Are we done it correctly? Radius is 5 and angle is 1.62. Sorry, not 81. It should be 8.1. Plus 8.1. Right. Okay. 8.1 plus 5 plus 7 plus 16. That is 36.1 meters per day. Sorry, centimeters. 36.1 centimeters. Right. Then the next part is we have to find the area. How do you find the area of this triangle? So what you can do is, if you need to find the shaded area over here, initially I just get this area of this total triangle. Out of this one, I will subtract this arc sector. Then you get the shaded region S over here. So you can find, initially I can find the area of this triangle. Because we know, when you work out this triangle, we know these two sides 10 and 12 and the angle in between that. So you can find area of the triangle is half 10 into 12 into sine 1.62 minus area of the arc sector. That is half r squared theta. 5 squared into 1.62. With this, you can get this answer. Ten into 12 into sine 1.62. That answer is 59.93. 59.93 minus half into r squared sine theta. 12.48. Then you get the final answer, 59.93 minus 12.48. That is 47.45. 47.45 square centimeter. That would be the area of this shaded region. That's a way of getting this answer. Yeah, that's the answer for this. Over here, this amount is not 12.48. That is wrong. It should be how much? That comes with 20.25. Sorry, 20.25, and the final answer become 59.93 minus 20.25. That is 39.68. I think now it's correct. Square centimeters. Yes. If you come up with this, show that fx equals to this much can be written in the determine the value for this much. So anyway, what you can do here is, if you start with the part A, okay, yeah. Then initially what you can do is we can expand this bracket. That is 4 plus 3 root x is 3x to the power half. Squared means this way, 4 plus 3 x to the power half divided by x. Then if you multiply with this, 4 into 4 is 16. 4 into 3x to the power half is 12x to the power half. This one is again 12x to the power half. Then if you multiply with this, the 3 into 3 is 9. X to the power half into x to the power half is, if you add them, x divided by x. Then if you just simplify this, what you get here is 16 plus 24x to the power half plus 9x divided by x. Then you can divide individual terms by x. So your final answer becomes this way. It's turn up to 16x to the power minus 1 plus 24x to the power half minus 1 is minus half plus 9 would be the answer for that. Then part B, hence find f dash x. F dash x is the first differentiation. So you can write f dash x. If you differentiate the first part of it, 16 into minus 1x minus 1 is minus 2. Plus 24 into minus half x minus half minus 1 is minus 3 over 2 plus 9 differentiation is 0. So with this answer minus 16 x to the power minus 2 is x to the power 2. 25 to minus half is minus 12 x to the power 3 over 2. That's a differentiation of that. Then they mention find the equation of tangent to curve of y equals to fx at point x equals to 4. So what you can get here is that initially we can find the gradient. Gradient is equation of, sorry. So what you need to get here is that if you get the tangent, gradient of tangent and gradient of the curve both are similar. That's the point you have to understand. So we can find the gradient of the curve at x equals to 4 by substituting 4 into the first differentiation. So minus 16 times of 4 squared minus 12 times of 4 to the power 3 over 2. So if you get this answer, minus 16, it's minus 1. Minus 16 divided by 4 squared is minus 1. It's minus 16 divided by minus plus 16 is 1. Minus 12 divided by 4 to the power 3 over 2 is 8. But you just put the calculator and see whether. Now the gradient become minus 5 over 2. Yeah, let me see whether the differentiation is correct. Yeah, that's it. Now you can find the coordinate with it. We know that the x coordinate is then coordinate. X coordinate, we know it's 4. We need to find the y coordinate. How to find the y coordinate? Substitute 4 into original equation over here. I just make it a little bit smaller. Then you can say 4 plus 3 times of root 4 to the power squared divided by 4. So this is turned up to root 4 is 2, 3 into 2 is 6. Sorry, 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 squared is 100. 100 divided by 4 is 25. It means where this correct. 4 plus 3 into 2 is 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 squared is 100. Divided by 4 is 25. So the coordinate is 25, right? Let's go ahead with this further. Then we know that the gradient is minus 5 over 2 and coordinate is 4 comma 25. Then you can put in the formula y minus y naught equals to gradient times of x minus x naught. Then you can write y minus y naught 25. Gradient is minus 5 over 2. X minus x naught is 4. This turn up to y minus 25 is equals to minus 5 over 2x minus, sorry, plus 10. Turn up to y equals to minus 5 over 2x plus 35. That's the answer for that. That's the way of doing this question. Yes. If you come up with this question today, the equation k 3x squared plus 8x plus 9 equals to this much has a real constant, has no real roots. As soon as you heard the term real, no real roots, we get the consent of test of discriminant b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. Initially, you have to formulate this one into the form of a quadratic equation. Initially, I just expand this bracket. So you can say 3k x squared plus 8k x plus 9k. Then take this both the terms to other side. Minus 2 plus 6x equals to 0. Our objective is to convert this into a form of quadratic equation. So you can say this is 3k x squared plus 8kx. I write this other x term also over here. 6x plus 9k minus 2 equals to 0. From here you can write 3kx squared plus 8k plus 6x plus 9k minus 2 is equals to 0. With this you can say this condition b squared minus 4ac. 8k plus 6 whole thing squared minus 4a is 3k, c is 9k minus 2 is less than 0. Okay, b squared minus 4 is less than 0 because there are no real roots. So if you expand this, turn up to 64k squared plus 96k plus 36 minus 108k squared, then plus 24k is less than 0. If you simplify this, 64 minus 108, it's minus 44k squared. Then if you just do this, 96 plus 24 is 96 plus 24 is 120k. Plus 36 is less than 0. Then divide all of this inequality by minus 4. It's turned up to then 11k squared minus 30k minus 9. The side of the inequality changes. That's a way of getting this, right? Then what you can understand here is that find the range of value for k. So you know that how we have to solve this quadratic inequality. Initially, you have to solve this equation without the inequality and get the intersection of the x. If you solve this, you get the answers this way. Initially, what you need to do is solve the quadratic inequality. You have to solve it as a quadratic equation, get the intersection of the x-axis. Minus 30 and minus 9. Then you get the one answer is 3 and the other answer is minus 3 over 11. Minus 3 over 11. Now you can understand that it's a quadratic equal with the positive coefficient. Therefore, you can draw a quadratic graph like this. Then this is above axis, you get a positive answers for this quadratic. Over here, you get a negative answer for this quadratic, and again, you get a positive answer for this quadratic. Now see whether which range they are referring to. They are referring to the range where the quadratic is positive. And they over here, here to here. Then you can write the answer for k is less than minus 3 over 11, this range, over here this range, and k is greater than 3, that is this range. That would be the final answer for this quadratic inequality. That's a way of getting this answer. If you come up with this question, part 1, so if you come up with this question, yeah, right. Then log a x plus log a3 equals to this bit, whereas a positive constant, find the simplest form of the expression x in terms of a. When you happen to see a question like this, what you need to do is bring all the logarithm terms to one side. Sorry, log a3 minus log a27 equals to minus 1. Then you can simplify them. So you can say log a, this addition you can write it as a multiplication. This subtraction you can write as a division. minus 1. Then you can say this is log a x over 9 equals to minus 1. Then you can write x over 9 is equals to a to the power minus 1. Then this is turned up to x over 9 equals to 1 over a. Therefore, x become 9 over a. That's the answer for that. That's a way of getting this. Then they mention solve this logarithmic equation. He also use the same thing. So you can write this is this log 5y whole thing squared minus 7 log 5y. You can see just like it's a form of a quadratic equation. Then if I get this log 5y as some kind of a term like x, you can see this is x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. Then it's just like a quadratic equation. So you can write x equals to, if you simplify this, you can say x equals to 4 and x equals to 3. If you simplify this quadratic equation, right? Okay. Then you can see log 5y equals to 4. Other one is log 5y equals to 3. Then you can write y equals to 5 to the power 4 and y equals to 5 to the power 3. That is y equals to 625 and y become 125. That's a way of getting this kind of a question answer. Right? That's a way. Okay, let's go ahead with this. Okay, but if you happen to see a question like this, the point A and with the coordinate of minus 8, 8 and 12, 2 is a diameter of a circle. That is A minus 8 and B is 12, 2. To find the equation of a circle, we need to know the center. We know that center is a midpoint. Therefore, you can say O, the x coordinate is minus 8 plus 12 divided by 2, the x coordinate, comma, y coordinate is midpoint theory. We are using divided by 2. Then this is turned up to minus 8 plus 12 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. Minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 3. Now you know the center, the coordinate of the center. That is 2 minus 3. What else we need to do? We need to find the radius. You can find the radius by the length from A to O to B, O divide A, get the AB and divide by 2. I'll just length of OA as a radius. Whatever it's fine, doesn't make a difference. You can see the length between 2 points. x1 minus x2 whole thing squared minus 8 minus 2 whole thing squared plus y1 minus y2 whole thing squared. Minus 8 minus minus 3 whole thing squared, the square root of it. Turn up to then 100 plus 121, the square root of it. It's turn up to 221, the square root of that. Just let me see this. It's turn up to have I done any mistake with that? Sorry, the mistake is here. It's not that. So over here, minus 8 minus minus is plus 3, it's minus, it's 25. 25, this is square root of 125. That is, you just keep this, no need of simplifying this. Then we can find the equation of a circle is x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals to r squared, where the center is a and b and the radius is r. Just 1 second. Yeah. Then you can say y minus minus t is turn up to y. Sorry, y minus b squared equals to r squared. That is the equation of a circle with center AB and radius R. So you can say x minus 2 plus y minus minus 3 square DC equals to square root of 125 square. Then, yeah, let's go ahead with this. Then you can say it's turn up to x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus y squared plus 6y plus 9 equals to 125. It's turn up to then x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y. 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 minus 125. It's minus 112 equals to 0. This is the equation of the circle. Then when you come to part B, find the equation of tangent to 0.48, giving you answer in form of this. That means it's a tangent somewhere like this. We don't know what is the direction anyway. The tangent is drawn at 48. Tangent to C at 0.48. Then we know that to find the equation of a tangent for a circle, the concept where we use is we know that if you draw a line from center to tangent, that is perpendicular to that. So we can find out, I'll just get the point here as T. Initially, to find the equation of tangent, we need a gradient and a coordinate. Coordinate is given. To find the gradient, there is no way of finding over here. But we know that OT and the line L are perpendicular to each other, tangent T. Then we can initially just try to find out gradient of OT. Then you can write y minus y naught. Minus 3 minus 8 divided by 2 minus 4. It's minus 11 divided by minus 2 is 11 over 2 is a gradient of 40. Then we can find the gradient of tangent. Gradient of 40 into gradient of tangent is minus 1. So 11 over 2 into gradient of tangent is minus 1. Therefore, gradient of tangent becomes minus 2 over 11. Then we can put into the formula y minus y naught equals to gradient times of x minus x naught. Y minus y naught, it's 8. Gradient is minus 2 over 11. X minus x naught is 8. So with this you can write y minus 8 is equals to minus 2 over 11x plus 16 over 11. Right. Then if you simplify this, you can multiply everything with 11 because you need the equation in terms of ax plus by plus c equals to 0 format. 11y minus 88 is equals to minus 2x plus 16. Then you can write 11y plus 2x minus 88 minus 16. Turn up to minus 104. Just check with the calculation. I think it's fine. The proceeding is just like this, but that's a way of doing this question.